So, Stream ist gestartet. Also, erstmal hallo, herzlich willkommen zu einer neuen Folge Let's Play Steins Gate, für die es im VOD sehen. Und ansonsten mal schauen, ob jemand zusieht. Wenn nicht, dann nicht. Ja, was soll man sagen? Wir haben den IBN zurück. Naja, wir haben halt Moikas Nachricht rückgängig gemacht und vorher noch eine sehr verstörende Begegnung mit Nae gehabt, also der kleinen Tochter von Tenoji, die wohl völlig abgedreht ist in dieser einen Zeitlinie, aber daraus sind wir jetzt auch wieder weg. Und ja, jetzt haben wir halt den IBN wieder und damit endlich die Möglichkeit, diese eine Datei, oder diese eine Nachricht, besser gesagt, aus Cerns Daten herauszuholen. Jo, also dann, ich würde sagen, ohne viele Umschweife. As Dado hooks the IBM 5100 to his PC, I explain the situation one more time. Let's hope this is the last. This all happened because of the very first D-mail I sent to Daru. CERN intercepted that D-mail with Echelon and figured out what it meant, then sent their rounders after us. They will kill Mayuri, kidnap us and steal the time leap machine. Some years after that, I assume, Daru and I escape and form the resistance to which Suzuha belonged. I tried to save Mayuri, but nothing worked. Every world line converged on the same result, just as attractor field theory said they would. You know, if this is all in your head, I think you've got a career as a light novel author ahead of you. Verdammt. Light novel, oder Ranobe in Japanischen. Otaku. Illustrated novels targeted primarily at teenage and young adult males. Cover artwork often depicts cute girls. Verdammt. Although light novels can deal with just about any subject matter, recent years have seen a trend towards stories about teenage boys meeting cute girls and winding up in extraordinary situations. Okay, jedem das eine. It's true. All of it. To prevent Mayuri's death and to free Suzuha's future from CERN. We need to escape from the Alpha world line, and I think we can do that by cancelling all of our changes to the timeline so far. That should return us to the Beta world line, the world line that existed before I sent the first D-mail. There's just one more step. We need to erase the first D-mail from CERN's database. If what Suzuha said is correct, then erasing that data will take us over 1% divergence and back to the Beta world line. It was just one short email, barely 36 bytes, but it changed the course of human history. The butterfly effect. Fascinating. Kurisu mutters as she sips her hot coffee. It looks like she's already recovered from her exhaustion. You believe him, Makiseshi? In theory, I'd like to see objective data, but that's obviously impossible. Relax. Your time leap machine worked perfectly. Oh, of course it did. She doesn't deny it. That's just like Kurisu. Besides, we were already planning to crack CERN's database, weren't we? Fine, let's see what's in there. If the mail data exists, then it's proof that what you said is true. So what you're saying is, don't think, feel. Got it. You lost me. What he meant to say was, don't think, do. Daru extracts his massive body from the space behind the desk, plops himself down on the chair, and wipes away his sweat. Done bridging them. I need to tinker with the settings a little, but we should be up and running in about 10 minutes. Alright. So the first email started everything. Was that the one you showed me at ATF? The one that said I died or something? Right. I found you dead at Radikan and sent Daru an email. Daru happened to be experimenting on the phone wave, name subject to change, at the time, so the discharge phenomenon occurred and the mail was... My voice trails off. Something is telling me to stop. Fear rises in my chest, a sudden, terrible certainty that I am missing something vital. I frantically replay the conversation in my head. We must cancel all of our changes to the timeline so far. The very first email started it all. The one that said I died or something. Return to the worldline that existed before I sent the first email. An icy fist seizes my heart, and I turn to Kurisu with a look of pure terror. Our eyes meet. Those eyes of hers no longer show the sharp defiance from when we first met. Instead, they glow warmly with the light of curiosity. What? I was right. I had missed something vital, something dire. The worldline I set my sights on to save Mairi. The worldline upon which Suzuha staked her hope for the future. The worldline I am last poised to reach at the end of this long struggle. On that worldline, Mairi lives. On that worldline, CERN fails. And on that worldline, on the 8th floor of Radikan, Makise Kurisu dies. Und damit kommen wir zu Kapitel 10, Paradox Meltdown, das übrigens anders heißen würde, wenn wir keine True Ending Flags gefunden hätten. Oder aktiviert hätten. Dann hieße das nämlich Stardust Sky. Und der Fokus wäre ein ziemlich anderer. Aber genug davon. Es ist eine ziemlich üble Situation. Vor allem, klar, das kann einem als Spieler sofort einfallen. Das denkt ja klar, ist logisch, da hättest du doch vorher drauf kommen können. Aber da wird es ihm halt erstmal richtig bewusst, was das eigentlich bedeutet, zurückzugehen. Und ja. I thought that I had found the solution, that everything would be alright. But the equation was meaningless. I had solved nothing. Instead, I am left with a terrible choice. Mairi or Kurisu. One of them must die. Radikan is still off limits. They haven't yet repaired the hole that Suzuha's time machine made. I look down through the hole at the streets of Akiba. From up here, they look narrow and stifling. Across the way, a train rumbles by. I watch the yellow-striped cars move past. I came here because I wanted to be alone. The day before yesterday, I abruptly cancelled the attempt to hack CERN. Kurisu and Daru demanded an explanation, but I just couldn't give them one. The decision has paralyzed me. 2 days later, I'm still nowhere close to finding an answer. What do I do? 2 weeks ago, on July 28th, Dr. Nakabachi held a press conference in this very spot. The same day Kurisu was murdered. Let's say we go through with the plan and delete the first email I sent, the one about Kurisu's death, from CERN's database. That would return us to the Beta World line, where it all began. What would happen then? According to my predictions, our friend Lab Member 4, Makise Kurisu, would disappear. Someone who died on July 28th cannot be alive now on August 15th. That would defy causality. A time paradox. That world line has already rejected her existence. The moment we erase the D-mail, Kurisu will cease to exist. And so I am left with two options. Option 1. Hack CERN with the IBN 5100 and erase the first email I sent, thus returning to the Beta World line. Kurisu will disappear, but Mairi will live. CERN will never build a time machine, and the future will be free. Option 2. Don't hack CERN. Keep living here on the Alpha World line. Mairi will die, so will Moeka and FB. Kurisu will likely be kidnapped by CERN, but at the very least she won't die. With her research, CERN will gain control of space-time, and the future will be a dystopia where no one is free. And I'm supposed to choose? Ridiculous. I choke out a laugh. How am I, of all people, supposed to make that choice? There's no way. I don't really care about the future, whether it's free or ruled by CERN. I know I should care. Suzuha entrusted her wish to me. Doesn't that make it my responsibility? But still, it doesn't seem quite real. 20 years is a long time. Right now only Mari and Kurisu matter. I must choose which to save. If I had been given this choice back on July 28th before this all started, I probably would not have hesitated to abandon Kurisu and save Mairi. But it's not July 28th, it's August 15th. I've spent 2 long weeks with Kurisu. She's one of us now, an integral part of the lab. And as I leapt through time again and again, she was the person I relied on most. Always calm, always thoughtful, always ready with a new hypothesis, always there to give me a push when I needed it most. I wouldn't even have the time leap machine if not for Kurisu. It's thanks to her that I made it this far. After all she's done for me, there's no way I can abandon her now. But nor can I let Mairi die. Everything I've done I did to save her. I would give anything, even my own life, to see her safe. More than anything, I want her to live. No matter what, I won't let her die. I can't choose. I can't. Kill Kurisu or kill Mayuri. That is what this choice comes down to. Is this how it ends? I drive my fist into the wire fence. Suzuha, Ferris, Rukako, Moeka. Is this what I sacrificed your memories for? Is there no other option? No way to save them both? What if I use Suzuha's time machine? I could return to the Beta World line, then use her time machine to travel to July 28th. No, that won't work. The reason Suzuha leapt to 2010 was to prevent CERN from creating a dystopia that only occurs on this world line. On the Beta World line, she'll have no reason to leap to 2010. Suzuha's time machine won't exist, so I won't be able to use it. Alright, then what if I send Kurisu a warning via D-mail? I could say don't go to Dr. Nakabachi's presentation. No, that won't work either. Remember, causality converges. Kurisu's death is inevitable on the Beta World line, just as Mayuri's is inevitable on this world line. No matter what I do, fate will ensure her death. There's no way. I slowly sink to the floor with my back against the fence. I can't save her. I'm powerless against the will of fate. What should I do? What should I do? Maybe Mayuri doesn't die on the current world line. I cancelled Moeka's D-mail, plus I haven't had an opportunity to check the divergence meter since. Might there be a chance? If the pattern continues, Mayuri's death has been pushed back to the night of the 17th. If Mayuri doesn't die between 7 and 8 PM that night, then I won't have to face this horrible decision. I know it's unlikely. I understand that from all my experiences so far. But still, I can't help but cling to that hope. Mayuri and Kurisu. If I can just save them both, then I don't care if the future is ruled by CERN. I'll betray Suzuha's dream if that's what it takes. So please, let Mayuri live. To whom should I make this desperate plea? God? Fate? The universe itself? Either way, I am just one insignificant human among billions. Will my prayers truly reach? I already know what the answer will be. And that knowledge, that certainty, is despair. Komima runs for 3 straight days from the 15th to the 17th. On the last day I go with Mayuri and stay with her from morning until Komima closes. It's not really my thing though, and the crowd is ridiculous. So I wait off to the side with Mayuri's bag. From time to time Mayuri appears with new bags for me to guard, and usually a snack for us to share, but most of the day I spend alone. Ach, das ist gerade echt eine üble Situation. To some extent, I'm here to escape reality, to empty my mind and forget my fears. But even when I close my eyes, I can still hear the footsteps of death approaching. Ah, we're finally home. It's already dark by the time the bus drops us back at Akiba. Mayuri is dragging her costume behind her, a costume case. I'm carrying bags covered in moe artwork and loaded with dojinshi. These are all Mayuri's purchases, not mine. I can't believe she bought so much. I guess the reason she doesn't cosplay herself is that she's too busy shopping. We get off the bus and stand there for a while. What are you gonna do now? Head straight home? Actually, I was thinking of going to the lab. Need something? Not really, but it's been a while since I got to relax with Okarin. I'm a little hungry, so I'll buy some juicy chicken #1 on the way. Maybe Mari wants a taste of normalcy again, now that the chaos of Komima has ended. I can't begrudge her that. I stifle a groan and shrug my shoulders. Back to the lab then. Hey Okarin, why did you come with Mayoshi today? You've never come with me to Komima before. You're not interested in moe, right? I like robot anime. But not so much that I'd line up early in the morning for Komima each year like Daru and Mari do. So why did you come with me today? Well, to confirm your death. Those words pop into my head, but I quickly shake them away. Why am I so set on Mari dying? I wanted to live, remember? Well, I just felt like it. Oh. Suddenly, silence. A downhearted frown replaces the usual smile on Mari's face. Did my answer upset her? But it's not like I could tell her the truth. How do you tell someone they're going to die? Lukako. I frantically tried to smooth things over. I thought maybe you'd managed to get Lukaku to cosplay, so I came to laugh at him. Too bad he didn't come. Yeah, Lukaku would be super popular if he did come though. People would take his picture and post it all over the internet. Then everyone in the world would see how cute he is. And after he became a superstar, Mayoshi would see him on TV and think, wow, he's gone so far. It's scary because it's true. Suddenly, Mari turns around and peeks at my face as she walks backwards. Thank you for today. Why are you thanking me? Well, like I said, this is the first time Okarin's ever come to Komima with me. It's made Mayoshi really happy. A smile finally returns to Mari's face.
Ah, but you know what would make me even happier? If you cosplay next time.
Yeah, I'll think about it. That's right. Don't think negative thoughts. Think about a fun, bright future.
Really? You'll cosplay for me?
まゆり自身もコスプレして参加するならな。
Only if you cosplay too.
それだけじゃなく、ルカ子とそれとクリスティーナも呼ぼう。二人にコスプレさせるよう説得しろ。
Rukako too. And Christina, of course. Convince them to cosplay first.
そこまでできたなら、真打ちとしてこの俺が狂気のマッドサイエンティスト王院京馬としてコミマに降臨しようではないか。
If you manage that, then I, the great and insane mad scientist Ho in Kyoma, will grace Komima with my august presence. The next Komima takes place this winter. We'll all be there as if none of this ever happened. All of us, laughing and smiling together. Just imagine a future like that.
Wow, that's gonna be tough. But it sounds really fun too. Besides, I think Christian secretly wants to cosplay, so there's hope. Maishi's gonna do her best.
We arrive at the lab. I look up at the second floor, but there's no light in the window. Oddly enough, there's nobody here today. I've got a bad feeling about this. Is Moika going to ambush us? On the previous world line, I forgave Moika and Tenoji, but that has already been undone. This is a new world line. The Rounders are still alive, and they're still after the time leap machine.
マユリ、ここでちょっと待ってろ。
Wait here, Mayuri. I motion for her to sit and wait on the bench in front when I carefully check the area. I know my efforts are likely futile. But still, I want to do anything I can. Anything to give Mayuri a chance, however small, of surviving on this world line. Something tells me it would be foolish to go straight up to the lab. So first I decide to check the street for any suspicious people. I walk down the street toward Kuramaebashi Dori, careful to always keep Mayuri in sight. Suddenly, a white station wagon parked at the end of the street fires its engine and takes off in our direction. What? I can see clearly through the front window. The man in the driver's seat is unfamiliar. But I have seen that station wagon before. It's the same one Moika used to run us over on a previous world line. The same one Tenoji used to transport the IBN 5100. And now it's bearing down on me at full speed. I'm in the center of the road, there's nowhere to run. The station wagon flips on its high beams, instantly turning my vision white. I can't move. It's all happening too fast. I expected an ambush inside the lab, instead I'm facing a charging car. What do? I'm fine. I won't die. This world line hasn't approved that fate. No, wait. What day is it? This is the first time I've made it to the 17th. Does that mean my death is still undecided? Will I die in Mayuri's place? If that will save her, if that will end this, then maybe it's for the best. No, I don't want to die yet. Two contradictory emotions collide in my mind. My body doesn't know which way to run. Will I be the one to die? Something slams into my back. I open my eyes. I'm lying on the side of the road. My whole body hurts, but I don't appear to be seriously injured. Someone saved me? I look up to see the station wagon's taillights disappearing around the corner. And there, lying in the center of the road, is Mayuri. I run to her side. Mayuri is bleeding from the head. The pavement is slick with blood. Did she protect me? But that's not what I wanted. I lift her body up in my arms. Her eyes twitch, then slowly open. Mayuri, I'm sorry. It's my fault. Her hand wanders as if seeking something. It reaches for the starry sky. Her eyelids are heavy. They could close any second now. But still, she looks straight into my eyes. And for some reason, she smiles.
Finally, Maishi was... useful to Okarin.
What? Stardust handshake. Her delicate fingers grasp at the sky, but all they find is empty air. Her arm goes limp. I grab her hand before it hits the ground. Mayuri is no longer breathing. I've seen her die countless times, but this time it's too much. This time it's all my fault. I embrace Mayuri's tattered body, her lifeless, motionless, tattered body. I clench my jaw and bite back my tears.
Mayuri, ここからじゃあんまり星が見えないな。
Mayuri, you can't see the stars from here.
こんなのあんまりだろう。
How could this happen? Why did she have to die like this? What possible meaning could this death have? Yes, it happened because fate demanded it. Yes, her death is unavoidable, the result upon which this world line converges. I knew from the beginning that this would happen, but I never imagined that she would die saving me, and with a smile on her face.
やっと役に立てたって。一体どういう意味なんだよ。なあ。
What do you mean you were finally useful? Tell me, Mayuri. There is no future for Mayuri on this world line. And that brings me once again to the choice. Do I return to the beta world line, killing Kurisu? Or do I leave things as they are and accept Mayuri's death? I can't run away. I'm the one who twisted fate. I am the one who must decide. Ja, das ist eine echt ätzende Situation. Ich möchte niemals in so einer Situation stecken, nach dem Motto, entscheide zwischen dem Leben zweier deiner wichtigsten Freunde. Naja. Aber es geht weiter. The sky is blue. I'm on the roof of Radikan after going back 56 hours with 2 time leaps. Jetzt haben wir eine wichtige Mail bekommen. Die ist jetzt für die letzte True Ending Flag wichtig. Assistant, where are you? Where are you? You haven't been to the lab in 2 days. Are you still in Akihabara? We're worried, you know. You were acting strange yesterday. I want to help, so tell me where you are. I don't feel right not having you around. Where are you? I want to see you. Ja. Let me be alone. I need to think. Ja, wir müssen das antworten tatsächlich. Und damit haben wir jetzt quasi das True Ending freigeschaltet. Es würde aber auch noch Szenen geben, sage ich mal, die damit zusammenhängen. So. I lean against the wire fence and stretch out my legs as I look at the sky. I wanted more time to think, that's why I came back. Last time I spent 2 days refusing to face reality. But that is no longer an option, now that I've confirmed Mayuri's death. This time I need to reach a decision. But how? This equation has no solution. No matter what choice I make, someone dies. From a purely utilitarian viewpoint, I should choose the beta world line where CERN never creates a dystopia. But it's not that simple. Not for me. There must be some other way. According to Suzuha, 2010 is a point of great divergence at the attractor field level. I think that divergence had already commenced by the time I sent the D-mail reporting Kurisu's death. So when did divergence begin? I can't say for sure, but I think it was the moment we completed the phone wave, name subject to change. That was around the middle of July. Daro and I deemed it a failure right after completion. By the time Kurisu was killed, there was already a huge divergence at the attractor field level. Now that I think about it, reading Steiner activated that day when I sent the D-mail that started it all. At that moment, every pedestrian and vehicle on the main street of Akiba suddenly vanished. That feels so long ago. But now I can finally explain it. That was the moment I moved to the Alpha world line. On the Beta world line, where this all began, Suzuha didn't arrive in her time machine, Dr. Nakabachi's conference went ahead as planned, and the flow of tourists and shoppers through Akiba was unimpeded. But when I sent the D-mail, events changed on a huge scale, from my perspective at least. On the current world line, Suzuha crashed her time machine into the roof of Rarikan. Nakabachi's presentation was cancelled, and this part of Akiba was closed to traffic. Because I was out on the street when the world line changed, it appeared to me as if thousands of people suddenly vanished. The truth is that they were never there to begin with. Like a magician's trick, it's so obvious once you understand how it works. The real problem is the timing of the D-mail. I moved to the Alpha world line after Kurisu died. If I had sent the D-mail before she died, then I might have been able to intervene, even now on this world line. But no, that would defy causality. I sent that D-mail because I saw Kurisu's body. That's the way it has to be. Who killed her anyway? I still don't know. It definitely wasn't suicide. What if I identify the murderer and sent them a D-mail warning them off? That would that prevent her death? I mean, no one has tried to kill her on this world line, have they? Maybe there's a chance. However, to send that D-mail, I would first have to move to the Beta world line. The more I think about it, the more futile it seems. I've already seen Mari die countless times. Everything I tried to prevent it failed. I understand all too well. When fate wants someone dead, nothing can stop it. I can't save Kurisu. There you are. I thought I was alone, but it seems that I was wrong. I turn around to see Kurisu standing in the open door. I avert my eyes. I can't look her in the face. Not now. What are you doing here? Nothing. How did you know I was here? You said you wanted to be alone. I ran the numbers and concluded that I had the greatest probability of finding you here. Then leave me alone. You don't have to look for me. I'm not a lost little boy. Hey, is that how you treat someone who's worried about you? Not that I'm worried about you or anything. Right after she gets herself flustered, Kurisu sighs and puts on a serious expression. I was going to leave you alone at first. But you've been acting weird the last couple of days. I mean, you're always weird, but more than usual. You look like a kid forced to eat crappy oatmeal. What happened? Nothing. Then why did you cancel the cracking of CERN? You're the one who said we shouldn't. Oh, so you're afraid of triggering arrest flags. I get it. You should praise me for obeying the law for a change. That's not like you at all. What happened to your ego? What happened to the insane mad scientist in Kyo? To hell with my ego! This time it's not that simple. I have forced my ego on others before. Suzuha, Ferris, Rukako. I sacrificed their dreams for the sake of my goal. I justified it by telling myself that it was necessary to save Mayuri. I weighed their suffering against the alternative and made my self-righteous choice. But this time, the alternatives are impossible to compare. I have to choose which friend to let die. It would be so much easier if I knew what was right. Which friend to let die? What are you talking about? I'm just a student, Christina, you know? The insane mad scientist in Kyoma? That's just a fantasy. A character I made up. I bet you had no idea. I may have figured that out when we first met. When we first met? What if I hadn't found Kurisu's body back then? Let's try imagining that situation. If I hadn't seen Kurisu dead, I wouldn't have interrogated her before the seminar at ATF. Without hearing me call her a zombie, she wouldn't have taken an interest in me. She wouldn't have come to the lab. Ultimately, we would never have built the time leap machine, leaving me without the means to save Mayuri. And of course, Kurisu would not have become our friend. We would not be as close as we are right now. Tell me, Okabe, what do you mean? I can't meet her questioning gaze. Do I have to tell you? You've never hesitated to ask me for help before. Don't hold back now. That's not what this is about. Then prepare yourself.
話すのは相談じゃない。事実だ。
What I'm about to tell you is the absolute truth.
お前にとっては死亡宣告になる。
And it could also be your death sentence. Kurisu's voice cracks a little.
俺は説明したよな。セルにクラッキングをすることでマユリが死ぬことのないベータ世界線へたどり着けると。
Remember what I told you before? When we delete the D-mail from CERN's database, we'll reach the beta world line where Mayuri doesn't die.
2036年のセルンのディストピアもなくなる。自由な未来が待ってるバラ色の世界線。そんな風に聞こえた。
And where CERN doesn't take over the world, right? Everyone lives, everyone is free. You made it sound perfect.
バラ色なものかよ。
Perfect. It's anything but.
元凶となった最初の D メール。その内容はお前にも見せたはずだ。
I showed you the first D-mail, didn't I? The one that started it all.
ベータ世界線ではそのメールの内容が実際に起きた。
On the beta world line, the events described in that D-mail actually happened. Kurisu is a genius. I have no doubt that she understands.
ベータ世界線ではお前は
Kurisu. On the beta world line.
7月28日に死んでいるんだ。クリス。
You die on July 28th.
そしてそれはアトラクターフィールド理論による収束のせいでどうしても回避できない。
And according to the attractor field model, nothing can prevent that from happening.
マユリを救おうとするなら俺はお前を見殺しにしないといけないんだ。
If I want to save Mayuri, I have no choice but to let you die. Kurisu says nothing. What expression is she making now? I reluctantly sneak a look at her face. She's staring out across the cityscape. Her eyes look distant. I see neither fear nor sadness in her face. She seems accepting. Kurisu is always like this. Always calm, no matter what. It's hard to believe she's younger than me. Her soft chestnut hair blows in the wind. She lifts a hand to hold it down.
ねえ、岡部。
Hey, Okabe.
アトラクターフィールドってどこまで信憑性があると思う？
How credible do you find this attractor field model?
信憑性？
Credible.
あれって全部ジョン・タイター、天音さんの受け売りでしょ？
It's all second-hand info from John Titor, from Amane-san, isn't it?
2036年時点ではスタンダードらしいけど。
I get that it's the accepted model in
その時代の
2000.
研
Oh,
究者たちは一体どうやってそれが正しいって証明したの？
da habe ich aus Versehen ein bisschen zu weit gerückt. Backlog kurz. I get that it's the accepted model in 2036. But how exactly did scientists prove the existence of attractor fields?
理論が間違っていると言いたいのか。
Are you trying to...
確か
Oh,
に収束は存在する。
are
俺
you,
はそれを
der muss aber
身をも
fertig
って
werden.
体験した。
Are you trying to say the model may be wrong? But I know for certain that convergence exists. I've experienced it firsthand.
収束は正しいとしても、
Even if they're right about convergence.
無限個に枝分かれした世界線が重ね合わせ状態になっているっていうのは、
What about the relationship between world lines?
俺が世界線を移動すると世界は再構成される。過去から未来までだ。
The moment I change world lines, everything is reconstructed. Past, present, and future.
それ 岡部の主観での話でしょ。
But that's just from your perspective, Okabe.
あんたの脳が認識してる私はベータ世界線に行くと死んでるのよね。
Once you go to the beta world line, the me that your brain perceives will die.
それはつまり私が死んでいる世界線と私が死んでいない世界線のうちあんたの主観が前者を選んだってことになるわけだけど。
In other words, your perspective will have chosen the world line where I die instead of the one where I don't. However,
あんたの脳が認識する世界と私の脳が認識する世界は別物かもしれないっていう可能性はないのかな。
why can't the world your brain perceives be different from the world my brain perceives?
Brains. I forgot his specialty was neuroscience.
別物って世界が分裂するということか。
So you're saying world lines are independent?
分裂というか電車みたいなものなのかも。
Like trains, maybe.
電車
Trains?
わかりやすい例を挙げると、
Let me give you an easy example.
Kurisu takes out her phone and starts fiddling with it.
路線図で調べてみたけど、秋葉原から横浜に行くのにどの路線を選ぶか。
If I want to take the train from Akiba to Yokohama, which route should I use?
お前鉄オタだったのか。
I didn't know you were a rail fan. Rail fan, or Tetsuwota. Short for railroad fanatic, an otaku with an interest in trains.
違う。例えよ、例え。
It's just an example, jeez.
あんたは山手線で東京駅まで出て、そこから東海道本線に乗るのを選んだ。
You choose to take the Yamanote line to Tokyo Station, then transfer to the Tokaido main line for the rest of your trip.
Kurisu keeps talking as she looks at her phone, apparently reading off an itinerary.
でも私は山手線で大崎まで行った後、湘南新宿ラインに乗った。
But I take the Yamanote line to Osaki, then transfer to the Shonan Shinjuku line.
もしかしたら別の人。橋田なんかはそもそもいきなり秋葉原から京浜東北線に乗っちゃうかもしれない。
Another person, say Hashida-san, might decide to take the Keihin Tohoku line for some reason.
マユリなら東京から新幹線に乗るかも。
And Mairi might ride the Shinkansen from Tokyo.
岡部と私は東京駅までは同じ電車に乗ってるけど、そこからは違う線に乗って同じ目的地を目指している。
You and I ride the same train until Tokyo Station, but from there we ride different lines, while still aiming for the same destination.
それを世界に当てはめるとパラレルワールドを主張するのか。
And that applies to the universe? You're claiming the existence of parallel worlds?
たまには私も妄想ぐらいする。
I like to use my imagination too sometimes.
でも世界が一つだと誰が証明した？
But where's the proof that there's only one world?
鈴葉の言葉と俺のリーディングシュタイナーが。
Suzuha said so. And then there's reading Steiner.
正体不明のタイムトラベラーと原因不明の特殊能力ね。
In other words, an unknown time traveler and your unexplainable superpower.
鈴葉は正体不明では。
But we knew Suzuha.
彼女が橋田の娘かどうかは誰にも証明できない。2036年から来たかも、ディストピアのことも証明できない。実際に2036年にならないとね。
There's no way to prove that she was Hashida's daughter, or anything she said about 2036 either, not without going there ourselves.
そもそも、もしリーディングシュタイナーが正しいなら、あらゆる人間の記憶があんたの主観に引きずられていることになる。
And if reading Steiner is what you say, then it means that your subjective experience influences the memories of every single human being.
そんなの無理がありすぎる。もしそうだったら、岡部は文字通り神よ。
If that's completely absurd, Okabe. If it's true, then you're literally a god.
でも現実には神なんていない。
But there are no gods in reality.
Endlich sagt's mal jemand! Ja, ich bin Atheist, ich freue mich über sowas.
世界はあんたを中心に回っているわけじゃない。
The world doesn't revolve around you.
あんたの脳がそう錯覚させているだけ。
It's just your brain making you believe that it does.
世界にとってあんたが神だというなら、同体積の脳を持つ私も世界にとって神になれるわけで。
If that makes you this world's god, then I must be a god too. My brain is just as big as yours.
何が言いたいんだ。
What are you trying to say?
仮に岡部の主観が私が死ぬ世界線を選んだとして、私の主観も同じように私が死ぬ世界線を選ぶとは限らない。
Let's say you choose the world line where I die. That doesn't mean I have to do the same.
それは私の主観がここに存在していることからもわかる。
The fact is that I am standing here right now, observing the world with my own subjectivity.
すでにこの世界線は私が死なない世界線なわけだから。
I already exist on a world line where I don't die.
あんたの主観がベータ世界線に行ってしまっても、私の主観はここに留まることだってできるのかもしれない。
Even if your perspective shifts to the beta world line, my perspective might remain here.
精神はどこにあるかって話。そして私は私の精神をあんたの好きにさせたくない。
It's a question of where the soul lies, and I won't let you have your way with my soul.
科学者とは思えないほどのファンタジーな理論だ。
No true scientist would accept a hypothesis that flimsy.
でも可能性はゼロじゃない。
But there's a chance I'm right.
だからあんたは何も心配する必要はない。
So you have nothing to worry about? Kurisu smiles. How can she smile? I just told her that she's going to die.
私を見殺しにできないって言って悩んでるのよね。
The problem is that you don't want to let me die, right?
でも今の私の仮説で言えば、私は別の可能性世界線で生き続けていける。
But if my hypothesis is correct, I'll still be alive on another possible world line.
だからそもそも岡部は悩む必要なんてない。
So there's no reason to be afraid.
仮説は仮説だ。
It's just a hypothesis.
アトラクタフィールド理論だって仮説。
The same is true of attractor fields.
まだ誰にも何も証明されてないから。2036年時点では証明されていたとしても、その証明を今の私たちは確認できないから。
It hasn't been proven. Even if someone did prove it by 2036, that doesn't help us here in the present.
そう考えれば
In other words,
未来の可能性は無限よ。
anything is possible. Kurisu turns her back to me after finishing. It's an armchair theory. A daring armchair theory that could, quite possibly, render meaningless everything I've done up to now. How can Kurisu stay so calm? She's just an 18-year-old girl.
ちなみに心配なんかしてくれなくてもいいから。岡部にそんなことされたら結構プライド傷つく。
You really don't have to worry about me, Okabe. It would just hurt my pride if you did.
そんな言い方。
Don't say it like that. Oh, wir kriegen einen Anruf. Und da ist es jetzt wichtig, dass wir da rangehen. Oder nicht wichtig, da kriegen wir ein zusätzliches Gespräch.
もしもし。
Hallo? Aber ich würde sagen, dieses Gespräch führen wir in der nächsten Folge. Die Folgenlänge ist gut, kann man machen. Und ja, ich habe jetzt sehr früh angefangen, nicht viel moderiert. Ich hoffe jedenfalls, dass ihr Spaß dran habt. Es geht natürlich jetzt wirklich langsam aufs Ende zu. Dieses letzte Kapitel ist nicht sehr lang. Und ja, wir haben die letzte True Ending Flag aktiviert. Es kommt also bald zum True Ending. Wobei vorher kommt eigentlich so das Ursprungsende oder das Ende, das man kriegt, wenn man mindestens einen dieser True Ending Flags hat. Und das wird dann halt fortgesetzt, wenn man alle hat. Ansonsten hätten wir gar keine, würden wir per Default zu einem anderen Ende kommen. Und das wäre eben das, bei dem dann das 10. Kapitel eben nicht Paradox Meltdown, sondern Stardust Sky heißt.
Aber genug davon. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet Spaß. Lasst konstruktive Kritik da, vielleicht ein Däumchen nach oben. Wir sehen uns in der nächsten Folge wieder, wenn es wieder heißt Let's Play Steins Gate. Bis dahin, Cheerio.